Important breaking news from the world.
Leftists have lost their damn minds. Since November, we've seen a non-stop temper tantrum that would put the largest preschools to shame. In fact, it's almost as if the world's largest daycare exploded over America and sent whining, petulant little children scattering across the country to throw hissy fits and complain about everything under the sun, all because their favorite candidate couldn't even win an election she had worked tirelessly to rig in her favor. But while the majority of the childish outbursts we've seen have primarily stayed out of our personal lives, one writer for the leftist rag GQ is demanding an end to that this holiday season, and he's dead serious. In a piece for the publication titled, "It's Your Civic Duty to Ruin Thanksgiving by Bringing Up Trump," leftist crybaby Joe Berkowitz details a step-by-step plan to sabotage the holiday for your family if they dare have thoughts divergent of the leftist hive. Berkowitz, like most every other hardcore leftist, urges readers to act like they're back in grade school pouting after being grounded by their parents, all while justifying his troubling ideas by sourcing leftist propaganda that's been proven false. The worst part about the editorial is it demonstrates that many on the left are incapable of separating politics from the rest of their lives, even on cherished holidays, so they're more than willing to make everyone around them miserable until they achieve their political goals. How lovely. Berkowitz writes. It's late November 2017, and you know what that means. Every man you've ever seen on TV for any reason has just been unmasked as a woman-hating sewer ghoul. Also, it's time to ruin your Trump-supporting family's Thanksgiving, for America. Thanksgiving is a celebration of community and gratitude, where we reconvene in our nostalgia-drenched hometowns and perform time-honored traditions such as almost sleeping with your high school crush and going around the table to say what you're most thankful for and where you were on September 11th. Last year's Thanksgiving was a difficult time for most Americans, roughly 65.8 million of us. The election was still a fresh wound. Trump had begun assembling his Dr. Caligari cabinet of White House monsters, each one a direct fuck you to some beloved ideal. There was the EPA chief who doesn't believe in climate change, the labor secretary who opposed minimum wage increases, the flagrantly Islamophobic national security advisor who might just be a foreign agent, and at the helm of it all, a man who speaks almost exclusively in racist dog whistles and locker room talk. Thanksgiving was a cathartic vent sesh for liberals with like-minded families, and a painful twist of the night for those without. He then explained how lucky he is to have Hillary supporters for family, although he was forced to spend last Thanksgiving with family friends who supported Trump. That particular holiday went well, he explained, because Trump supporters could still make a case for impending change. But now, a year later and the left still hasn't been able to remove Trump from office, he's calling for all-out war from those going to visit their Trump-supporting families. He continued. This year, if you're headed home to a household that still thinks a sex-offending game show host in rapid cognitive decline was the best choice for a president, it is your civic duty to filibuster Thanksgiving. Any parents still riding the Trump train at this point have thereby signaled that nothing is sacred. It is time to follow their example. They can't stand idly by while President deals tramples every other American tradition and yet somehow expect that Thanksgiving will be normal too. If every other moment of this year is going to be drastically out of whack, nobody should get to pretend that everything is normal for one meal just because that's what the Pilgrims would have done. Or it could just be they're sick of the left's constant bullying and fascist behavior, kind of like what Berkowitz is demanding his readers engage in. But I digress. To make their families miserable, Berkowitz suggested the following. Don't show up. For some parents, your absence will speak louder than any sodden arguments over the density of pumpkin pie. If you can't even look them in the eye, they'll know you mean business. Besides, Friendsgiving rules. Show up and be kind of an asshole. No hugs, only stiff, formal handshakes. During the football game, talk about police brutality non-stop. Take any opportunity to emphasize just how much Bruce Springsteen and the entire E Street Band loathes Trump. Come out as an aspiring professional DJ. Scorched earth. Not even a handshake, just stare, disgustedly, at their outstretched arms. Build a wall out of mashed potatoes. During the football game, order 10 Papa John's pizzas, the official foodstuff of the alt-right, and use them as pitchards to demonstrate who benefits most from the GOP tax plan. Refuse to be alone in a room with your mom, citing the Mark Pence rule. Call your parents by a Donald Trump nickname of your choosing, perhaps Little Rocket Mom or Little Dad. Insist on setting a place for Robert Mueller, the way Jews do for Elijah on Passover. Wear a coal miner hat for solidarity. Punch a cornucopia right in the mouth. How lovely. Apparently, the booming stock market, low unemployment, massive gains against ISIS, decreased regulations, surging economy, stronger military, reduction in illegal immigration, effort to decrease taxes, and creation of new jobs means absolutely nothing to this lunatic, so he wants everyone to ruin their families' Thanksgivings. Why? He turned the presidency into a haberdashery. He made nepotism a core hiring strategy. He attacked the civil rights leader during Martin Luther King Day. He politicized the Boy Scout Jamboree. None of which has any effect on anything other than the delicate feelings of snowflakes like Berkowitz, who closed his atrocious piece with this gem. If your family is unmoved after a ruined Thanksgiving, though, that's fine too. After all, next year's Thanksgiving falls just after the 2018 midterms, and if your true believer parents still feel the way they do now, you might ruin their holiday in another way. He just has all the answers, doesn't he? This is why President Trump won.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.